We are now recording. So welcome to this month's regional training from Color Street. Do we have anyone on the call that is not already a stylist? No? Okay, so we are going to kind of breeze through the opportunity portion. I don't want to skip it because it's good practice for us to hear that portion over and over again so that we know the words to say when we're talking to someone else. So it's not just valuable for if there's a prospect on the call, but we're gonna go kind of quick through it. So I'm gonna start by sharing my screen and hopefully I have this all. I've been practicing. I have been practicing so that I'm quick at this. So it should be showing you my presentation. Is it showing you my presentation?
Yeah.
I see some dots. Fantastic. All right, so welcome. We already did that. So why would you choose Color Street? And not just why would you choose Color Street and Nails Brooks, but why would you choose the business over maybe another option? Okay, so we're gonna watch the Fog Park video. Can you hear sound?
No.
Dang. Thought I had done the setting correctly, but I didn't. I guess there's enough text. We'll just watch it anyway. Hopefully next time I can figure out how to have sound for you. Thought I'd gotten that. There was a setting I had to. Oh, dang it. Hold on. I drag this. Sloppy, sorry. I like that one. Cool. 12 million in 2017. 119 million in 2019. I think we were ranked 78 in direct selling 100. And last year we had 4,000 people at conference. Okay, so it hasn't been updated, but we're now ranked 38 out of DS 100 or whatever. And that's worldwide, and that's crazy. When I was looking at the list of the top 50, I only recognized maybe a third of them, which is crazy, but that's because it includes direct sales companies from all over the world, and so there's some that aren't even in our country, and that's why I wouldn't recognize them. But it's pretty crazy that as a business that's only 3 years old almost and is only available in the United States, that we would rank so high, because a lot of the other US companies in the top 50 are companies that already ship to multiple countries. So crazy that we are included on that list. That is huge. Okay, so why are we having success? It's because people want what we have. And it's a simple thing, but it makes people happy. It's reasonably priced. It's usually cheaper than the option that they're already doing. Or at least it's so much easier and quicker and less messy than the other option that maybe costs less, but nobody does because it's terrible. So it's what people want. They want it to look good. They want it to last a reasonable amount of time to where it's worth the trouble. And they want it to go on fast and be easy for even the less able. I remember seeing a live video of a woman with, I know there's many conditions where your hands shake, but I can't think of the one that she had, but she was very shaky and was never able to do her own nails. But with Color Street, she was able to do her own nails, and she loved it so much, it changed her life so much that she joined, and so she promoted her business. That was kind of the people she was speaking to, the people that literally physically cannot apply their own nail polish. So that was so cool. So easy application. So our opportunity has lots of different ways to earn, whether you're just focusing on sales and those bonuses that come with hitting enhanced commission, or if you're building a team and growing your business to where you're getting bonuses on multiple different types of bonuses based on how well you and your team do. So there's multiple ways to earn those bonuses. You get paid weekly, which is fantastic and is not industry standard, and so that's a really cool thing. And then so you get paid if you sell a 4-pack on Monday, you get paid the commission on that on Thursday, right? Thursday? Used to be Wednesday, I'm pretty sure it's Thursday. Okay. And so that's really cool. And then you get your monthly commissions, which include any enhanced commission bonus, which just means you hit a certain benchmark that's higher than just the or if you're eligible for bonuses from your downline, then you would receive that as well. I'm going to go ahead and mute a couple. I guess I could mute everyone, but I'd have to leave this screen. So I think I got who I needed to get. We're good. Okay, there's just a little bit of background noise. Okay, so and if you want to say something, there is a way to raise your hand. I can't look at the chat window when I have my PowerPoint up because it goes full screen and I couldn't figure out how to shrink it. So if you want to say something, feel free to interrupt me. I will just like talk unless someone says something. So I can only see 5 of you at a time. So you'll have to use that functionality of raising your hand. And I have no idea what will happen when you do that. No one's ever done that for me. Maybe someone should do it right. Mandy, will you hit the raise hand button? I want to know what it does. No? How about Kirsten? Kirsten? Do you have a raise hand button on there? I think you have to move your cursor down to the bottom of the screen. And I think there'll be a oh, Artist Wells raised her hand. It popped up a little. Okay, thank you so much. I just wanted to make sure I was going to see it if someone did. So if you can figure out how to use that. Oh, another person. Okay, hopefully you're not really needing to talk. But if you are, you can always unmute yourself, and this will make it so I can say, hey, Lee, I see you're wanting to say something. Go ahead and unmute yourself, and that's how we'll do that. Okay. All right. We're getting the hang of this. It's going to be great. Okay, so you can earn free product. In fact, we have fairly regular incentives for hitting bonus qualified status, which is 300 in sales. And we have one that's about to wrap up. So hopefully everyone's on track for that. And we'll talk more about that in a second because I want to hear how everyone's doing. We're fast growing. It's innovative. We've got 50 patents or more that are just for our product, our packaging, our manufacturing, all of that stuff. Faupark has paid the money and gone through the trouble of getting as many things patented as possible, which is really awesome, especially as we look towards going worldwide. There's potential to earn just a little bit of side money. You can scale it just small in your spare time, or you can make it a career. We've got lots of support from home office and from leadership in the field. And yeah, there's lots of fun things like this purple luggage over here. Whoop, whoop. All right. So just so that you know, can you see my cursor circling it? Like when I go like that, can you see that? Yeah, cool. Okay, so this one comes a director, this one comes a senior director, and this one comes at executive director. All right, just in case you were wondering. Okay, did you know the average earnings for a stylist holding 2 online or in-person nail bars each week is $1,120? They're basically doing some math for you. So you just say, let's say you have 2 parties a week, that's 8 parties a month. If they all do $400, this is how much you make because of I think, what would that give you? What, 3,200, so that would put you in the 35% bracket. So they're just doing some math for you. Personally, my nail bars aren't $400 average, Mine are probably, you know, 150 to 200 average. So just to be realistic for you, that will give you an idea of how many nail bars you might need to have in order to hit income goals that you have set for yourself. Okay. Super cool. We have a foundation that has a new strip every 1 to 2 months. We just delayed one because of COVID. But hopefully, let's see, Lee, are you still raising your hand? Are you raising your hand to talk now, or is that from before? I'm going to assume it's from before. I'm going to lower all these hands since I'm just figuring out how to do this. And then if you still need me, then you can hit it again. Okay. All right. So in fact, I just saw a graphic that Color Street posted, and it said over $1.5 million was donated. This presentation was made mid-March, so I guess we've made more contributions since then. So the Take My Hand nail strip, they are holding, and they're waiting to launch that where it will get more attention. All right, awesome. Okay, so I'm going to keep going. This is a video, and since you won't be able to hear it, we're going to skip it. I wish we could play it, unless maybe it's, no. She's talking about her struggle with infertility, and it's a beautiful video. So I can probably find the link and share it in the Facebook group that I have for these calls, and that way you can still see it. Okay, so the kit is $129. This is what it looks like when it comes. It ships super fast lately. What am I looking at? Oh, there, I can see the chat. Zoom is new to me. Welcome. Hi, I have 2 guests on. I'm in now. Oh, look, I can see the chat now. Okay, now you can use chat if you need to. All right, just to show you, you will get 72 samples, and this is a big reason why Color Street rocks. I keep looking at myself instead of the camera, sorry. This is why Color Street rocks, is because sending a sample is as easy as putting a stamp on an envelope and mailing it. So it's cheap to send a sample. When you rebuy samples, these cost a little over 30 cents a piece. And then with a 50-cent stamp and maybe a business card and a prep pad, you're looking at spending about $1 to send a sample. And that's amazing when you think about other products and what it takes to send a sample. That is so inexpensive and so easy to do, because you can just drop it in your mailbox. I even buy these fancy cards that Color Street now offers that are all pre-made, and I stick my business card on this side. So there's lots of great things that the company provides that make it so you don't have to spend time designing this or whatever, and you can do that. So that's really cool. And then we have, it has 13 sets in there. It's got, I'm just gonna tell you because these will probably have changed since, and I just typed something, sorry. And these will probably have changed since this kit came to me, except I can almost guarantee you it'll have Tokyo lights, okay? But you'll have some glitter, you'll have, I think, just 1 solid, 1 French, 1 pedicure, 2 petite, how many nail art? 3 nail art, and 3 glitter. Hopefully that ends up being 13, but that's about the ratio that you're getting. You're also going to get, these are my favorite nail files. You'll get some of these buffer blocks, which I just used the other day. I don't always take the time to do all of the prep work, but I did the other day because I got time these days. You'll also get the most current catalogs, which this is. And you'll get a bag, tote bag for all the stuff. You get opportunity brochures that are great for people considering either hosting or joining. You'll get tiny little nail files that are great for sampling, and cuticle sticks, also great for sampling, and some other documents that are helpful. And you'll get nail prep pads and nail polish remover pads. So you have everything you need to get started. You can literally walk into a home party with this kit and you wouldn't have to have anything else. You might want business cards. So keep that in mind. That might be an expense you have right out of the gate. But other than that, you have pretty much everything you need. And I'm not going to take the time to put that all away. Do that later. All right. So lots of stuff. And honestly, even if you just bought the kit for the sets, which I'm not necessarily recommending, but you're allowed to do that, you could pay for the kit just with the sets that are in the kit. Okay, so that's pretty cool. Hey Heather, how are you? I'm gonna go on mute. Are you wanting to say something, or can I mute you?
I just hopped back on.
Oh, okay. All right.
I went
ahead and unmuted her. And we'll just continue. Can you be a stylist? Did I just skip one? No, I didn't. I'm sorry, I always laugh at the "do you have a burning desire" question. I just think it's funny. Do you have a burning desire? I think the number 2 question is probably the most important of all. Are you willing to be coached, and are you willing to learn? And I think that our business is really simple, but there's going to be times when you're not going to know what the best course of action is. And so you need to be willing to listen to people that have been in the business, have experienced different things, and be willing to try the things they suggest. So if you're willing to do that, and if I can be coachable as a very rebellious natured person, then you can. So it has taken some work to get coachable, but it's worth it. So you got to be willing to work. This isn't a quick get rich quick scheme or anything like that, but it is something that anyone without any qualifications or degree or anything can learn to do. So if you have any questions, contact your stylist. All right, so this is the portion, just so you guys know, so that when you are considering inviting your prospects, or if there's someone, I don't know, do we have anyone that hopped on since I started that is considering joining Color Street? Yes, Diane, you've got some people. Great. Okay, so this is the end of the opportunity portion, and I am looking at my clock, and I am like so happy inside because I was trying to get that part done in 20 minutes, and it's 9:51, and I'm feeling pretty good about that. So I'm going to go ahead and like be quiet for a second. Does anyone have any questions? Unmute yourself or type it in the chat group. If you want to type it, I'll read it for you. Is that a no? Okay, awesome. All right, so that is the portion that your prospects would see if you invited them to any of the calls, whether by me or by someone else in the field that's hosting a regional training. So if you have someone that's interested in joining, they're the type of people that don't just want to read about it, they want to hear about it and ask questions and all of that, then invite them to one of these meetings. And it doesn't matter if it's me or someone in your upline, it can be anyone in the company. It will look and sound pretty much exactly that way. So good to know, right? So that's just a tool you have. All right, so I am going to share my screen again and go back to that. All right, so welcome. All right, I am going to look through here. If you are willing to talk, like you're not multitasking and have kids screaming around you, like, I mean, that's just how my life would be. But if you're willing to talk, I would love to hear from everyone on the call that is willing to talk. So what is your favorite business building tool you have used to grow your business? And I'm going to change that and say any tool. that relates to your business, whether it's for growth, whether it's for organization, whether it's just to make your life easier or to save money on this or that. Do you have something that has really made a difference in your business that you just want to share? I'll start and I'll say, and this isn't for everyone, but the day I bought my label writer for shipping packages was a really good day, and it has changed my business. So if you're in the business where you keep inventory and you ship a lot of inventory, definitely look into something like that. So does anyone want to go first? I'm going to just call people out, and if I don't see your face in the screen, I'm not going to unmute you. But if I see your face and everything looks good, not your face, but like you're not like doing other things, then I'm going to go ahead and call on you, okay? Hopefully that's all right. So Heather, you're first because you're first on my screen.
Hey.
There she is. We can hear. So Heather, is there a tool that you've used for whatever reason for your colorship business that has made a difference?
I am so like in the dinosaur era.
That's okay.
Because
Do you
I was
have
just
a favorite notebook or
Well, yeah,
planner or?
that's what I was just going to say. I so much want to print labels because, I work banker's hours. I can't get to my post office. Only on the Saturdays I don't work. And it's such a pain. Today I was on call, so I got to run to the post office to send a package. I've been doing a lot of, on-hand inventory, and that would be so helpful if I would just be able to print my labels. And I've been wanting to do that, and I haven't.
Well, you don't have to have a printer. You don't have to have a fancy printer. You have to have a printer and some tape, Packer's tape, ideally. And you can do it just with that. You don't have to have a fancy label printer, just so you know. Keep going.
I do have a regular printer. And the thing I think that was holding me back from doing that, because I've been doing this for almost 2 years, and that would have been so great. My Wi-Fi was so spotty that I just have a laptop and an iPad and my phone that I work off of. So I just recently, like a week ago, got a booster on my Wi-Fi that I can probably now print labels. So I don't know, maybe I'll start doing that, but I'm so old school and set in my ways that I don't know. But if I have to send a 4-pack of nails and I have to send it right away, I put 2 in each envelope and send them 2 envelopes. But anyway, yeah.
We'll talk more about that because I can help you with shipping.
Yeah, I'm like old-fashioned stamps, putting it on there, writing non-machinable on it. Like, I don't know. And I mail out a lot. So I don't know. I need to get with it.
We'll have to talk more about that. Heather's on my team. So we're going to, and even if you aren't, if you have any questions for me off this call, I'm an open book and I'm willing to share. So I'm going to mute you. And we have a Melissa and a Delisha, but I don't have video, so I'm not going to call them out because I'm not sure if they're comfortable. But I'm going to go down to Mandy. Mandy, not if you're okay with being unmuted. Okay. Mandy, do you have a tool that you use that makes a difference? Do you have anything to share?
No, the shipping thing would be Pirate Ship.
There you go. We're talking shipping today, and I wonder why. It's probably because there's no in-person anything right now, right? So shipping we're all about shipping right now. So Pirate Ship.
Yes.
So I know about Pirate Ship, but will you tell everyone else about Pirate Ship?
It's I guess you would call it a third-party USPS shipping service, and you're able to print labels out. I just print them out of my regular printer and use packing tape and tape it on there. I can send a couple of sets for like $3, up to 4 sets, I think. So it's really awesome.
Yeah.
And I like to reuse my Color Street packaging.
And it's free. You don't have to pay a membership. The what do you call it, company? The one I use it has a monthly fee. And I use that one for certain reasons because I ship a ton, not just for my customers, but for my team. But if you're just shipping once in a while, or even a lot, and you just have more patience than me, then Pirate Ship, and there's also PayPal shipping that is free. If I think you have to have a business account. I don't know. There's some things you have to do. I used to think you had to have an invoice to ship, but that's not true. I think there's a way to do it without an invoice. But anyway, Pirate Ship's awesome. And it actually, doesn't it let you create an account and save addresses for later?
Yeah, it saves by email address, and it's also tracked shipping.
Yes.
And it'll send that information to the customer if you put their email in.
Awesome. Thanks for sharing about that. Okay, I'm going to mute you, and we're going to go. Oh, Diane, can I unmute you? Okay. Diane, do you have a favorite tool?
Yes, my favorite tool is Twosies.
Everyone has them. Yay!
Everybody should have Twosies, and if you don't have Twosies, you need to get Twosies.
And hopefully you're not waiting on your order from like 4 weeks ago that they're trying to fulfill, right?
Yep. So
they're working on it, guys. Soon we'll have two.
Should be giving out at least 10 Twosies a week in order to get more customers, and for me, I have 3 new team members on. I got a new team member, and she got 2 new team members.
Rock on.
I'm pretty sure it was because of this right here.
Absolutely. That's awesome. Congratulations. That's huge. That's awesome. All right, Erica. I'm not even going to ask you. You are unmuted. I think we hit the button at the same time.
I think so. Okay, so I'll just have to second the printer, huge asset, shipping, huge asset. Diane, you took my Twosies. That's where I was going. I always have a bundle of samples. Funny story. I was checking out at the grocery multiple weeks ago. I haven't really carried samples the last couple of weeks just because handing samples, But prior to all of that, I struck up a conversation with a girl at the checkout at the grocery and handed her a sample, and she stuck it in her pocket. I was like, hey, just stick it in your pocket, check it out on break, you know? A couple hours later, a friend of mine, a personal friend of mine, went through the same aisle. The grocery store clerk noticed her nails and started the conversation. And she's like, oh, you got to meet my friend Erica. The lady pulled out my sample. So samples are like, absolutely. So since all those were taken, I would have to add to the table going live is a huge asset to business building. Just going live on your public page or your VIP group is just a great opportunity to kind of build that connection with people and invite people in and intrigue them if they haven't taken that big jump to request a sample. Sometimes that's a hurdle for people. I don't know why.
I think with this current climate, people have been a lot more willing to go live, not just go live, but to use video to talk, whether it's FaceTime or Zoom or whatever else. People are craving seeing other people's faces and not just in pictures, to actually talk to someone. I think people didn't realize how much, I didn't realize how much I took that for granted. So now is a really good time to fill the feed with actual your face talking live. Even if it were a video, if you were too nervous to go live impromptu, you could record something and post it. All right, cool. Thank you for that. That's a great one. Okay, Lindsay. Nope. Vanetta. Yes, Lindsay? No, Lindsay? Yes, Lindsay? All right. Sweet. I just unmuted you. Do you have a favorite tool?
My favorite tool is actually the sample cards. So anytime that I get new customers to the VIP group, or my son actually started an Instagram page for me, so I'm trying to learn that. And anytime anybody new comes around, I'm shipping out the sample cards. So I'm over here taking notes about these printers and the pirate ship. And I'm learning because I'm sending my son to the post office like every other day.
Yeah. Say no to post office.
Okay.
No, I mean with samples, you just need a stamp, right? It's more with the the actual nail set so that it can really help set
And
it up.
so with the sample cards, I'm sending the brochure, especially for people who
Uh,
are not online.
Okay, cool.
So he's sending that out for me too.
That's great. Well, I've decided I need a kid that can drive.
Yeah,
really
it's
great.
really convenient, right, Vanetta?
That would be great. I would be good with that.
Yes.
My oldest is 11 and she can do babysitting sometimes, but she's pretty useful, but not that useful. Okay, thank you so much for sharing.
Thank you.
Vanetta, can I call on you? Hey,
Hi.
how's it going?
Good.
All right, so tell me a tool that you use that you like.
Referrals. I'm kind of old fashioned.
Yeah.
In my parties or even in my VIP group, I'll have a little competition who can refer the most people. And as a matter of fact, even in my VIP group, I think I was at 90 or something like that. And I had a contest. I said, anybody who refers 5 or more people and they actually join, you get a point. Now we're trying to get to 100 members of my VIP group.
And you mean joining the group, right?
Okay.
Not like your team.
My group.
Okay, cool.
VIP
Just
group?
making sure. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, okay. So once we get to 100, the person who referred that person and accepted, and they are the 100th person, they get a prize. With that, I ended up getting going to 120 people.
Awesome.
So I ended up getting like 20 or 30 more customers in that one day.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
Awesome. Has anyone ever done a some kind of incentive for referrals to have people, join their group? I sometimes do them in conjunction with a sale, like they'll get free shipping if they can invite and have them accept the invitation or something like that. So that's always something to consider whenever you're doing anything, like if there's a launch or something like that where you can offer something like that or a prize. So that's a great idea.
I did offer a discount on the set, on
Cool.
on the kit.
I will say,
but not it wasn't out. I mean, I didn't like blast it for everybody to know. I said,
no, that's awesome.
Okay. I didn't want to get in trouble for saying that.
No, you're good. You're good. No, you're good. But I wanted to say, don't forget, sometimes people get really weird about the term host a party or whatever, right? Like, can you host a party? And they're like, ooh, right? But if you have someone that's willing to share, then you can say, let me set up a referral link for you so that when your friends are ready to purchase, you get credit for it. And so you don't always have to talk about referrals as somebody hosting a party. It doesn't have to be a party. It can just, those referral links last 60 days. So if you think about it, think about it as 2 separate things. They're either hosting a party where we try to do games and whatever and teach about the product and all that. You can also think about it as a referral program or link or whatever, so that it's less intimidating for those people. Some people don't want a party. They just want to casually let people know about something they love, right? So they might take longer to rack up their rewards, but it's a great way to allow people that are anti-party to still refer to their friends and get some credit for it. So anyway, just a side note. Let's go on to Kirsten. We didn't do you already, right? Do you have a tool you want to share? No, thanks. Heather, we did you. We did Erica, Mandy. Did you change your mind?
Yeah, I do want to share.
Cool.
So far, my most successful kind of sales technique or whatever is I had, I guess you would call it like an inventory party. So it wasn't like a traditional at-home party. I mean, it was at my friend's home, and I know normally you're supposed to set it up so people then buy online.
There's no rule that says that.
Okay.
Yeah, traditionally, yeah.
And so that way the hostess can then get those benefits. And so I just basically had, a party at my friend's house, and I just like sold my inventory that I had, and that was successful for me. And I had made the
Great.
most money that I did kind of like in one effort by doing it that way. And part of the reason too for her, she was like kind of on the fence even about the product, but she's like
Uh-huh.
my BFF for like years. And so she wasn't necessarily interested like in the hostess reward. So that kind of helped for me to kind of set up the party kind of like that, just like a friend supporting a friend. And she wasn't necessarily in it for the hostess rewards. And so
Well,
that worked out
well,
really
and
well
if
for
you have
me.
the inventory, you can
Yes.
satisfy hostess rewards from your inventory. You know, you can say you can earn this and this and this, and then just total it manually and say, look, you earned this stuff, pick something from what I have right here, and then you're
Sure.
done. Right? So
Mhm.
you can, if you're the type of person that is building an inventory and wants to do those kinds of things and just bypass the website altogether, now you wouldn't have access to the $25 referral credit. So keep that in mind. But
Mhm.
you can just tell your host that that's how it works when you do it from your inventory, and most people will be okay with that. So yeah, there's so many different options, and sometimes we see the box and we're like, this is the box. But I love that we have so much flexibility with our product because it's so small and inexpensive. So you can build an inventory over time with whether your hostess rewards or investing your income back into the business and build that inventory up. It's easy to tote around, so you can do inventory sales without I'm thinking of another company where you have to carry in a whole ton of stuff every time you go somewhere, and you might know what I'm talking about. Any clothing company really that's like this. But anyway, so that's awesome that you're using your inventory in that way, not just getting it and then shipping it back out, but you're actually taking it and showing it, kind of like a mini vendor event.
Yeah.
So that's awesome. Leah, I don't think you've talked. You don't get a choice.
No, I'll
I've
definitely
unmuted
talk. Something I've actually enjoyed over the time that I've been with Color Street is the Tuesday trainings.
Yeah.
I just, it's like even today I missed it because I was trying to get my boys set up with school, and the fact that it's there and it will be there available to listen or to watch is amazing. And the fact that you can just, like I don't do a lot of vendor events, so it's really helpful, when that time comes, if I do go down that route, to be able to have that ability to listen or watch those trainings.
Absolutely. Yeah, I didn't hear the one today either, but every time I have been able to go jump on, it's always been really valuable information. And I feel like they give you a lot of information in a short amount of time, so I don't feel like I'm wasting time on a call with lots of fluff or whatever. It's really to the point, and I like that. And I like that they've been uploading the video or the recordings for week after week after week for a long time. So if you're like feeling stuck in your business and you don't know what to try next, you can go through and find a topic that speaks to you and just listen to an old one, right?
Yeah,
the Tuesday
that's been the really nice thing, is like just being kind of stuck or maybe not as creative, and it's just nice to have that opportunity to hear other people's ideas, and they're fantastic what they're telling you.
Yep, it doesn't matter how long you've been in the business, there are always new ideas coming up that you can consider. Awesome. Dawn, are you interested in sharing something? Awesome. Seems like it wants me to hit it like 3 times. Okay, Dawn.
All right. I could second so much of what I've heard, and especially with the Tuesday shortage. Thank you, Leah. She let me borrow some Tuesdays recently because I've been out for a while and now I have a party going on. But I think of what I haven't heard that is kind of different is having like space at home to work from. Because since I started doing this, gosh, a year and a half ago, I guess now, I've really like been kind of working out of a tiny little set of drawers in my office on like this little rollaway cart that used to have my kids' school supplies in it. So it's not huge. And with returning to or going to the whole work from home thing now and needing 2 workspaces and 2 kid spaces, we had to like reorganize a lot in our house. And so I made a nice big space for Keller Street. And when someone wants to buy something, I just walk in and I grab an envelope, and it's easy to get to. I don't have to pull out a drawer, dig through something, look for it. When I need, a return address, I've got it. When I've got my stamps, it's right there, and I can stick it in the mail and it's done. Whereas before, like every time I sold something, it was a huge hassle. So just having that like work environment space, that's new for me, and I'm enjoying it.
I love that. I think that when you first start an adventure like this, you might not take it as seriously, and you might think, but I feel the same way. When I dedicated a space, no matter how big or small, but like organized it and like, this is mommy's workspace, right? It wasn't just that it was more organized, but it became more official in my mind. Like, this is a legitimate thing that I'm doing where I need a space.
Yeah.
And that was something in my mind switched when I did that, when I went to the trouble of making an official like declaration of that. I love that. Okay, Artis, if I'm saying your name wrong, I'm really sorry, but I'm going to unmute you since your hand is up. Maybe.
That's right. It's Artis.
All right, awesome. So the raised hand thing
I just
first.
got out of the shower, so I'm not going to let you see me. But what I did that was very successful was drawings. I had people, if they would post a nail fee, then they would get an entry into my drawing. And I did that. That was successful. And then I did an Easter basket. And if they placed an order, they got an entry into my drawing for the Easter basket. And every time I got an order, I would put another item in the Easter basket.
What kind of items did you put in your basket?
Oh, I put in a cuticle oil, a nail file, a buffer, some twosies, and some sets. I think I had four sets in it. Anyhow, it was very.
I want to win that.
And so anyhow, that kind of the little competition thing seemed to work a lot, work well with my group.
That's awesome. Thanks for sharing. Now, Pam, Melissa, and Delisha, if you do want to talk, you can either raise your hand or you can unmute yourself, or you can type in the chat and I'll absolutely let you talk. But since I can't see you, I'm going to assume you want to stay muted. Okay, so we are going to go back to the training. And that was, gosh, I feel like we could stop there. We've already had some really valuable things that we've shared. And I think that's the best thing about getting together and doing these virtual trainings live is that we can bounce off of each other. And I love it. I think it's super valuable. So first, I want to know if anyone here is a new stylist in the last 30 days. Anyone new? I know a lot of you from the past, so I don't think I see anyone unless, all right. Raise your hand if you're bonus qualified, if you bonus qualified last month, so our last full month. I see lots of hands. Awesome. Good work, everybody. Let's see.
I have 3 gals on that are new. Artis Bells is new. Lee was on. I don't know if she's still on. I don't see her at the moment.
Don't see her. Okay.
And Terry Brooks was on.
Okay. Okay, cool. Awesome. I'm so glad they all came on. In my history of doing these trainings, when we did them live last year, almost every meeting had like 80% brand new stylists. It was so awesome. I loved it. I learned that I really liked working with new stylists. Not that I don't like my seasoned stylists, but it was just so fun. And it always got me all excited to work my business because they were excited. We're gonna see who had the highest PV last month. I want to know. Oh, I just realized I don't know what my PV was last month. I'm gonna guess. We're just gonna say I'm not in this. Okay. Raise your hand if you hit enhanced commission and had 600 in sales. Curtis did in your first month. Pam, I think she's raising. I don't know. Maybe that's a clapping thing. Anyone have more? Oh, I see Erica. Anyone have more than Benetta? Anyone have more than 1,200? I think I was right at 1,200. Heather, nice work. Anyone else? It takes me a minute to get through everybody, so you got to leave your hand up. Okay. Anyone have 1,800 or more? All right, Heather. What were your sales last month?
They were over 1,200. I don't know. It was 12. I think it was 12 something. I don't think I hit 13.
Well, that's awesome. So that's an extra 5% that you got around the 5th of the month. So that's awesome. Okay. I didn't mute you again. There we go. And we're lowering that hand. Okay. Sorry. Anyone bonus qualified already this month? Awesome. I see a couple. Good job. It's still early. I always challenge my team to bonus qualify by the 15th, by the middle of the month. What is today? I don't even know. Anyway, I think that is like a motto to live by, because if you can bonus qualify and not be frantic about sales, you can focus on other aspects of the business, like following up with your customers, doing fun things in your group, making sure you're scheduling calls and stuff with people that are interested in the business, stuff like that. We have somebody chat. Oh, I don't see how to raise my hand, but she had 2,091. Pam, sorry, Heather, Pam wins. She had 2,091. That's fantastic. Okay, now I have my chat pulled back up. So, yeah, all right. Okay. If you hit any of your jump starts when you joined, I want you to raise your hand. I see lots of hands. Congratulations, that's awesome. Anyone enrolled? We know that Diana had an enrollee, and her girl had enrollees, right? That's awesome. I see your hand, Artist. Awesome. Anyone else have an enrollee? Lindsay? Very good. Vanetta, is Lindsay yours? Awesome. So basically, Vanetta also had, no, just kidding. Anyone else? Erica had an enrollee? Awesome. That's great. Okay. We're going to skip that one. Sorry. Has anyone rank advanced recently? I'd love to hear about it. Oh, is that Mandy? Mandy, you're right. Mandy, what rank did you just hit?
Senior stylist in March.
That's awesome. Anyone else? Manetta.
Senior stylist.
Yay! This is like, isn't this ASL for applause, right?
Yes.
That's great. Congratulations. Anyone else? All right. We're going to just cruise through these because we just did them all at once if you advanced. Unless you want to see those numbers, but nah, we'll just skip it. We are, what time is it? 10:23. Yeah, we got to cruise. Okay. So our monthly training, I kind of had to laugh because this training would have been a lot. It would have been really helpful if we'd done it last month. because it's all about how to maximize a catalog launch, which just happened, right? So that's already happened. But you know what's awesome about Color Street is that we have launches all the time, right? All the time. In fact, I feel like we should have some things any day now, but maybe I think with COVID, it's probably a little delayed. But we have them so often that this is always applicable. This is the kind of thing. So when you hear about something coming out, and I know most of the time we don't hear about it until the day before, which can be frustrating, I know, but do you have a plan? Like, have you already thought through what you're going to do anytime product launches? I've got to be honest, I don't have a checklist that I'm following that says this is what you do. I kind of just fly by the seat of my pants, but this training taught me that wouldn't that be nice if I had just a mode of operations that I always followed, and that I just knew as soon as I got an email saying there's new product, I'm going to do this and this and this and this, and I can just go through the list and get it done, and I don't have to think so much. So this training is super valuable for that. Okay, so you will learn how to prepare for a launch before it happens, how to build excitement and engagement, and how to maximize your opportunities after a launch. So why are collection launches important to your business? Anyone want to talk? I'll let you have the power to unmute if you want to talk, and I will count to 5.
They refresh excitement in your VIP group.
Absolutely.
Give you a reason to talk.
And give you a reason to talk. Okay, so when I do follow-ups are so much easier if you have something to tell them, right?
Yep.
Now, you can easily follow up without a launch. You can just say, hey, how are you doing, right? But it's so nice to be able to just say, hey, I don't know if you saw, but we have some new products. Are you interested in seeing them? And then, oh, bam, you've done your follow-up. And then they're like, oh. Now, I recommend not sending all the details in one message. You want to have some back and forth. That's not only good for relationship building, but Facebook algorithms also like back and forth. So, great. So collection launches are super huge, and we are so lucky that we have a product that gets launched. You know, we get new styles to promote and to talk about pretty much every single month, maybe more. All right, so maximizing launches will not only bring you more sales, but that'll bring you new hosts. Like if you say, hey, I know you're obsessed with St. Patrick's Day. I actually do have a customer that's obsessed with St. Patrick's Day, hates Valentine's Day, loves St. Patrick's Day, whatever. But I know that I can message her and say, hey, we've got this collection coming soon. Do you want to be a host for it? Because I know you're going to buy some yourself and you might want to share with friends. So you can use it as a way to get new hosts. And I know every time there's a catalog launch or any kind of bigger launch that I know is coming, because I know they surprise us with stuff, I love to use that opportunity to say, hey, I know you've been thinking about joining. Wouldn't it be awesome if right when you join there's all this new product, and all your friends that have already tried Color Street will want to see them and they'll want to buy from you. And so I use that as an opportunity to reach out to anyone considering the group and try to recruit some new stylists. So launch collections is all about not just, you know, your catalog launch, but also all the seasons, the holiday sets that come out, and even foundation sets that come out. We have a pretty good heads up on foundation sets, and they pretty much always launch them 1 to 2 weeks before the next month that they're actually for. And so we can kind of count on those. So, you know, if we want to research that foundation and maybe find out who of our customers might have, you know, a personal relationship with that cause, we can plan ahead and we can plan maybe, you know, fundraiser parties or whatever. So we can plan ahead for those. So the whole the whole, like what we need to do with a launch is to prepare. We need to do stuff before it happens as much as we can. And now that the company has been going for 3 years, even if we don't know an exact date for a launch, we have a good idea about when we can expect a launch. So we can make a plan even if we don't know the exact date, okay? So with anything, it's important to have goals. What goals do you want to achieve this month? Do you want to, everything you do in your business should revolve around, what your goals are for sales, hostesses, and recruiting. And if you have that goal in mind, it'll help you plan everything about your business. And how do we get those things? Well, sorry, but you have to be broadening your network in order to increase your sales, or even to maintain your sales. You have to be adding customers, not just the same customers. I promise you, if you have the same 20 customers and you never try to get more, the sales will go down. They won't stay. And so you have to continue to have nail bar bookings or referral links set up. You have to continue to do those vendor events. You have to continue to work your VIP group and build those relationships and keep those people interested and bringing their friends in and having one-on-one contact with people. And so you need to, it's super helpful to have a plan of timing. How many of each of those things, how many nail bars are you going to try to have? Now, these are goals. Obviously, there's going to be times when you've done all the work, you've put in all the effort, and you fall short, and that's okay, because it's all about effort. But I promise you that if you get in the routine of doing these things, they will be successful. And there'll be some months where you have more yeses than the month before, and you have more parties than you know what to do with, okay? So, and then you'll be like me, where last fall, I reached out to, I think I messaged 100 people thinking I would get 5 parties or something. Maybe it was 50. There's like a 1 to 10 rule or whatever. I messaged 50 people thinking I'd get 5 parties, and I got 12. And then I was like, how am I going to do this? And then I threw them all in the same group, and it was, it changed everything for me, because now I do that for every month. But you might end up with more parties than you can handle eventually, even if there's months where you don't get as many as you wanted. But if you think about what you want, how you're going to get it, and how often you're going to need to do it, then you can plan ahead. So social media is huge, right? I think most of us, even if we're, what was it, Vanetta, where you talked about the old school stuff? Okay, but even Vanetta is using the new school stuff like social media, right? And so you still have to like kind of wrap your mind around social media. I mean, I won't say have to, but you'd be silly not to. So knowing some things about social media and what your plan is a great way to prepare for a launch or even just day-to-day business. So I'm just going to cruise through this list where it says post 1 to 2 posts a day. You can post about color trends. You can show demos. You can use your own videos. You can use other people's videos. You can talk about the season, like the fact that it's spring, and tie that in. You know, there's so many graphics groups where they have themed graphics you can even borrow if you don't want to make your own. So plan those out. Tell yourself you're going to post at least once, but up to 2 and 3 at the very most times a day. Now, I have recommendations as far as, you know, how often to post about Color Street on your personal wall versus how often to post about Color Street on your page versus your VIP group, whatnot. Different ratios for each place. I would say no more than 1 in 5 posts should be about Color Street on your personal wall. But in your VIP group, you can have it be a little heavier on the Color Street side. But you want to also talk about yourself and about other things in your VIP group too. Do you know when your people are online? Have you thought about it? Are all of your customers kind of like you? And if they are, think about when you sit down and browse Facebook. When do you sit down and scroll? Is it after the kids are in bed? Is it right when you wake up? Is it, you know, maybe you're sitting, well, maybe you used to be sitting in a car rider line at a certain time. But think about those times, because it's not the same for everyone. If most of your audience is stay-at-home moms, then you might be online at a different time than, you know, empty nesters that are working full-time. You know, like I'm just saying, like, think about your audience and when they're online and try to post in those times. Don't stress about that too much though. It's okay to just post because you want to post and it feels organic and you post. Don't overthink it. But if you know those times already, you can kind of start to plan around it, and it'll help you be smarter about when you post. Create something enticing and engaging. So as soon as you get the Color Street email that says, this is what's coming tomorrow, are you saving that image and going to Facebook and immediately posting it in your group or on your page or on your wall? If you are, that's okay, but there's a way better way to do it where you create excitement and you entice them and you say, I just saw something that's coming, who wants to see it? You know, I've done it where I've edited the picture and made it black and white. And I've said, does anyone want to see the color version? Let me know and I'll PM it to you. And so then we have some back and forth in Messenger, which Facebook loves to see. So be creative about it. Don't just post the images that you get in your email. Think about, like, if I were to make a list of what I'm going to do for every launch, say, this is what I'm going to do every time there's a launch. I'm going to do a teaser. And then a couple hours later, I'm going to post, you know, maybe there's 5 sets. Maybe I show 1 set every few hours. I don't know. Have a plan though. Okay, so if you have never made your own graphics, that can be kind of intimidating. But I tell you what, you will see a huge difference with your Facebook algorithms and whether or not you're getting thrown in Facebook jail or whatnot if you create your own graphics, at least as often as you can. There are lots of great apps on your phone, and when I'm on my computer or my phone, I prefer Canva. And now I didn't make this slideshow, so corporate agrees with me. But that's what I would have put if I did. And so if you haven't experienced Canva, it's free to use for the basic features. In fact, you can use it. There's a ton of features in the free version. So you're just missing out on maybe some extra fonts and graphics and stuff, but you can do everything you need with the free version. And they have an app on your phone that they can sync together, and so your images can be saved, which is a big deal. So look into stuff like that to create simple graphics. It doesn't have to be amazing or as good as all the graphics in the graphics group. Keep in mind that your customers, they're not in a billion people's Color Street groups. They're not in all the graphics groups. They're not in all your team groups seeing Color Street constantly all day long. All they see is you. So they're not comparing you to those other people. So whenever you do anything, remember that your customers are looking at you and you alone, maybe one other person, but mostly just you. So don't be afraid to create your own graphics, even if you're a beginner. And then we have Erica's favorite tool, maybe not her favorite, but the one she talked about today, and that talks about going live. Maybe you set an alarm in your phone to say, this day and this time, I'm going to go live every day, and it doesn't matter what I talk about, but I'm going to do it. And I will say my personal preference is that a live video is short. So don't feel like you have to fill 20 minutes of time with whatever. Go live, like think of a story that your kids did something funny, or talk about Color Street, or talk about something else. But just going live and being visible, let people get to know you. You don't always have to look perfect. In fact, people like being able to see you in different, you know, phases. I don't know what to call that, but they want to see you in real life. They want to get to know you on a real level. So yeah, so ad launches, look ahead. When you're making a calendar for a party, think, even if you don't know the exact date, guess. make a guess about when a launch is going to be so that you can think ahead and you can make those plans. I've been talking a long time. Does anyone have anything they'd love to say or add? It's so hard with the Zoom to like see, just have someone raise their hand or talk. Okay, I'm gonna keep going. Stressing. All right, I'm not stressing because of you guys, just like time. I always feel like the clock is chasing me whenever I'm like running late. All right, did I pass something? Okay, so we talked about social media. Plan your strategy around nail bars, whether you're going to recruit hosts specific to a launch. Are you going to do anything in home? I have a stylist who always does an in her own home, like party get together whenever there's a catalog launch, and she tries to time it for when she's going to get the bundle that they usually offer for stylists to buy. So you could do it then, or you could do it maybe a couple weeks after the launch so that you know you'll have product. Or you can make it a catalog party. If you're not into having inventory, you're not going to buy them all, then just have a catalog party and maybe even unveil them at the party. Just think ahead about, like, can I do stuff like that? Yeah, if you think ahead and you plan ahead, you can really make the most of a launch. Are you going to meet at a restaurant? Do one at home, do it online. I love to go through my closed parties in my VO and scroll through, and anyone that had a qualifying party or that I think probably could have if they tried a little harder, right? I'll go through, and those are the first people I reach out to for a launch, especially a catalog launch. And I say, hey, we've got this new catalog. I know you had a party that did really well. You want to do another party? We can even do it differently this time. If you want to just, most of your friends already know about it. If you want to do it, a shorter one, or you want to just do a messenger party, or you want me to just make a link for you, like, that's a great place to go. You can talk to your friends and family, VIP group, current customers. You can have mini parties, kind of like how I was just saying. You can just set up referral links. You can challenge a customer to, like, if you can get 10 catalogs to 10 new friends, I'll send you a free set for hosting party. I don't know about you. I always send a little incentive to my hostesses along with some samples and catalogs when they start a party. If you do that, you could, instead of saying I'm going to send it, you say, do this first. If you get 10 people in my group or whatever, then I will send you a packet or whatever. I don't know. Be creative. Think about what you might be able to do, what your budget would allow, all of that. All right. Important tasks. You're going to want things. These are things you can focus on in anticipation of a launch. You can share tips to get your nails ready, whether it's just talking about having nails, like for St. Patrick's Day. I'm using St. Patrick's Day again. But I always think about St. Patrick's because you have to wear green or you're going to get pinched. Well, as long as COVID's not going on and you're stuck at home. But most of the time, you're like, I always say, don't get pinched. Doesn't matter what you wear if your nails are green, right? So talk about having your nails season ready, or like if you're talking about taking Christmas nails to your teachers so that they have, holiday nails for their parties, for their kids, for their classes. Share stories about the holiday. Every year I do a countdown to New Year's. A lot of people do the 12 days of Christmas leading up to Christmas. I'm too stressed at Christmas time to do anything extra. So I do the countdown to New Year's because then I don't have to, by the time it has to start, all the shopping's done, that kids are out of school, I can focus a little more on my business. So I do that, and we share stories about the holiday, and we share, personal things. You can have exclusives if you want to offer a discount, if you want to do a bulk order and give free shipping, or if you want, if that fits into your plan to do a discount, do that. And remember, I'm going to say it again, they're only watching you. So if you have a friend stylist that's offering something that you don't feel comfortable offering, that's okay. Do your own thing, do what works for you. Those people aren't seeing, I mean, you might have a customer that stylist hops, fine, but for the most part, they're only seeing you. So don't stress about what your, you know, how your specials or exclusives match up to someone else's. Let's say you have a list of customers that you know don't really participate on Facebook that much. Maybe you have this special list of people that you always send a catalog to, or you always send like physical mail. Like even if it's a smaller launch, you can print something out and send it to them. So keep those people in mind. And private messages are huge, guys. If you are saying I can't find a hostess or no one's buying, and all you're doing is posting things, even if it's in your group of customers that agreed to be in there that are already your customers, it's not enough. You have to send, you have to build personal relationships. You have to focus on Messenger even more than you focus on what you're going to post. Okay, I will swear by that up and down. I've had way more success since I've focused on my interactions on Messenger. I try to always take any conversation to Messenger whenever possible. Gosh. Okay. What can you do in your VIP group to build excitement? You can go live. You can have a flash sale. Now, I had a really successful auction in my group. I've built up a pretty big group. I've got 800 something members. Probably at least 100 are stylists. Let's be real. But still, like so an auction was a great option for me. You can do other types of flash sales. Some people will do them like they'll have a set 4-pack that they'll, offer at a discount to try and get rid of the old shades. So you can use, and I will say I did a training recently in Team Nailed It. If you're not in Team Nailed It, I'd be happy to send you the link to that YouTube training that I did on auctions. But one of the best things about doing that before a big launch was that it got engagement up in my group. My algorithms were fantastic for when the spring came, because I had, with an auction, they have to outbid each other. So I had comments, so many comments on so many different posts, different pictures. And so engagement was awesome. So consider something like that. Even if it's not a sale, if you did like a girls' night game a couple nights before a launch, that's huge, because you get all of that engagement and you get that built up. You can have special previews where you show them, and we've talked about that. Do's and don'ts. I'm just going to read these. Don't share the same images from home office. Personalize them. And I'm guilty sometimes. I just don't have time to create my own, and I'll share them. But I will tell you, the biggest reason that you don't want to share the images from home office primarily is Facebook jail. Okay, that's the biggest reason. They're not saying that because they don't want you to use their image. They're saying that because they don't want you to get thrown in jail and not be able to run your business for however long. And if you don't know what that is, look it up. Sorry, I don't have time. But create your own images. Now, just to clarify, as far as brand guidelines go, and if you have any questions about brand guidelines, you can look at the brand guideline thing that they've put out, or you can ask someone. But as long as Color Street does not have their, I see someone's asking something in the chat. Yes, Facebook jail is terrible, avoid it at all costs. I try not to talk about my experience with it because I don't want to jinx myself, but so far we're good. So Color Street is purposely releasing some of their images without their logo, and the reason they do that is so that you have the right to add your info on it. You're not allowed to add any wording to an image of the set, but you can put something, you know, on the side. Like I would put minivan manicure because that's my brand. Okay. So any of those images they send out that don't have the logo, that's because they want you to personalize it. But if it has a logo, you can still put stuff on it, but it has to be one of the 4 approved fonts. So hopefully that makes sense. I can answer questions about that. I know that was really quick, but Color Street tries to let their stylists be personal while also protecting the brand. Okay. Don't post selling images. And that's not because it's against the rules. It's just a tip that it's better if you don't say a word like that, where you're not like, I'm selling this, I'm selling that. Talk about educational, relational, and engaging images. Post those things. You'll just get better engagement overall, and Facebook won't bury your post as much. They bury posts that talk about I'm having a sale or discount, or there's certain words that just bury your post. Don't spam Facebook Messenger with a generic message. Take the time to personalize. If you're sending a bunch of follow-ups, commit. Go to a keyboard and type. Don't, you know, it's so much easier to send personalized images when you can type faster. Okay, so if you have the ability to go to like a laptop or something, or if you don't, there's a great tool in Messenger if you haven't found it yet called Voice Memo. Raise your hand if you ever send voice memos. It's so much easier to send a personalized message if you are limited to a device by using voice memo. Just don't make them too long, okay? Because I get a lot of voice memos and I'm like, okay, guys. Okay. Whew. I think hopefully I didn't skip a slide. Maximize opportunities after your launch. Follow up with people. Send thank you notes, send thank you messages. It doesn't have to be a card in the mail. Just show gratitude. You know, chat with people, like ask them, what set are you going to wear first? Do you have an event that you're going to wear it for? Like stuff like that. Make it more personable. Always invite them into your group. Always invite them to host a party. Don't be afraid to ask the questions. No's don't have to be scary. And if they're not scary, then you won't come off as being super desperate or disappointed, like they just broke your heart. If you're okay with hearing no, and they say no, and you say, okay, then they're not gonna feel awkward. It's not gonna be so bad to ask that. So just get comfortable with hearing that word. It's not the end of the world. These are some, just some verbiage you can use. I can share that with you later. I'm not going to go through it all. I don't want you to go into a launch assuming that they'll be out of stock crises. It's never a crisis. They usually restock quickly. But think about what might happen if there's an out of stock. What's your plan? Are you, can you suggest, familiarize yourself with all of our sets are available. If something went out of stock, but there's something we have that's maybe similar that they'd like, you can recommend that. Maybe you are in a group where stylists help each other out with that. Maybe you have a messenger. I know that my team has a messenger thread, and sometimes they're like, hey, does anyone have this set, right? Now, when it's a new product, you might just have to wait for it to come back, and that's okay. You can suggest other things in the meantime. If you haven't signed up to get out of stock updates, kind of pay attention to those so you know what to answer when someone asks you if something's out of stock. Here's just a quote real quick. The last 10% it takes to launch something takes as much energy as the first 90%. I'm gonna have to think about that and really think about what that means. All right. So we have this activity. I will send you, I have a worksheet that you can use to plan out launches and like set goals and stuff. So if you are interested in that document, let me know and I'll send it to you. This is just an overview. And all of this talk is not good for anything if you don't actually do something about it. So maybe after you get off this call or tomorrow morning, you maybe think of like 1 or 2 things that you can try or change or plan and do something. about it. Even if that's just writing a list of things you want to do next time we have a launch. And here's to you and rocking all Color Street launches. Sorry, it's a little corny, but woohoo, right? All right, okay. Last month, you got to get this last month for your BQ necklace and jewelry and stuff. And even if that, you know, that's not the kind of jewelry you're into, free stuff is always awesome, and you could always like raffle it off or have people enter a giveaway and drum up business. So free stuff is always good. Okay, I see people commenting saying they want a copy. The problem is once I close this, I won't see those messages. So you're going to have to reach out to me and ask me, because I won't. Sorry. I do see that Mandy and Minetta. Okay. All right. I already posted it in the regional training group, but I will post it other places. And if you want it, you can always PM me. Okay. So we got Circle of Excellence. That's always going on. Cash bonuses rock. Lots of people want to copy. Okay. I'll try my best to get it to everyone. Friend me on Facebook and message me, and I will totally send you the link, or not the link, the file. Take advantage of the app. Did you know that you can search by host name in your closed parties? Cool beans. I highly recommend whenever you have some time, just click every single button in the back office. See, there's so many tools back there. They're so awesome. Just click on everything. You'll see there's so many awesome things. Okay, we have a swag store that's got more and more products all the time. All these ways to stay connected. There's always a Monday newsletter in your email, so always look for that. Tuesday training call, text alerts, all of the things. Do something today your future self will thank you for. All right, we're a little past time, but only 5 minutes. That's not bad. Does anyone have any questions or comments? All right. Thank you so much for joining me. I'm going to be doing this every month, so keep an eye out for that. In fact, I just recruited Kelly France to do them with me, so I think she and I are going to do it together next month. So that'll be fun. She is awesome. All right. Thank you again, and I'm going to go ahead and close the meeting.